Please keep it going for Sharon.
Okay, the first thing, this is about risk, right? I heard about this about an hour and a half ago, so I'm figuring I have a pretty big risk factor just walking in. The reason I think my friends invited me tonight is because I'm one of those people that risk just follows them. I try to be a very normal, sane person walking in the world, and then I have 2 commercial airline crashes. One is big, but 2 it seems a little excessive. And so then I have 5 car accidents, and they're people crossing the center lane. I was not taking a risk here, and yet a risk is presented. So one of the things that happened was when I was growing up in my 20s, I followed a man out to Boulder, Colorado, which is an excellent place to go if you like risk. You can throw yourself off mountains, you can throw yourself downhill skiing, you can raft until you're dying. There are many, many ways. Nature tries to kill you. You have tornadoes coming. You have these sudden windstorms that are not tornadoes, but yet things are falling on your head. And many, many other things, lightning, where did that come from? It's really strange out there. So when I had a child, we brought him back to the East Coast and bubble wrapped him in Nature Will Not Kill You here. You might get a hurricane might be coming, but you have a week's notice. You can plan for that. So the boy was living along his little life as a band geek, and everything was great. And I thought, you know what? We need to shake things up a little bit. I think I should take him to where he was born. So when he was 16, he got his driver's license. We planned this epic road trip, 2,700 miles, flying into Denver, Boulder, down to Zion, all the way up to Yellowstone. The whole thing was planned. It was great. And the first thing I said to him is okay, this is different from anything you've ever done. Nothing will kill you at home. This could kill you. So you got to listen. You got to pay attention. The desert will kill you. There are many ways that you can die out here. So pay attention to your mom. So the first thing we did was we went and we hiked up in this canyon that I loved when I was there. And I said to him before we left, talking about the risks, I said, you will be able to hear a waterfall, but we can't go see it. You can look at the canyon all the way until we have to stop, and then we're done, because people die here. And he's like, okay, it's fine, Mom. So we trip up there, and we're climbing high, and we get there, and the waterfall is rushing, and it's very exciting, and we can't go any further. And he totally throws a freak on me. He's like, Mom, I'm 16, I'm 170 pounds, I'm sure I could. I'm like, honey, that's what you do. You turn around, you go back home. If you're not doing this, then we're not gonna do this whole thing right. So we get out, just as we're dropping off the cliff face onto the street, a cop comes by and gives me a very un-Boulder-like look, scowling at me. And then we went to the trailhead and discovered that canyon was so dangerous that they closed it 5 years ago after I'd moved away. And it's 6 months in jail, mandatory if you get caught up there. And he's like, Mom, it's going to be very hard to finish high school from jail. So I said, okay, that's cool. I won't do that to you again. Everything's cool. So the next thing we did was we go rafting down the Colorado River, which I had done so many times, 20, 30 times. We always had friends who did it. I took him in the very humane month of August when the water is low and everything should be fine. But I didn't have the stuff, so I thought, all right, I'm going to get an outfitter, even though that's lame, and we're just going to go and do it like everybody else does. So we get in this thing, and we get there, and I'm looking around. I'm thinking, this water is high. This is really decidedly spring water for August. What happened here? I'm not living there. I wasn't paying any attention, but okay, I guess they know what they're doing. So we get in this thing, and they pull out the rafts, and wait a minute, these are not the rafts you want in that water. They're rubber duckies, and they're tarpaulins. If you jump on them, they throw you out. And so I'm like, this is not really appropriate, but what do I know? I haven't done this in a long time. Maybe technology has come further. I don't know. So I get in the raft, and I'm waiting for the newbie, intro. And we get no newbie intro. I'm like, okay, now this is getting scary because these are class 5 rapids. And when you go down this thing, you don't want to be just oh, what do I do now? You got to have it. You got to know. So I start giving my kid, there's old people in this. There's other families. He was the youngest person there, but these were newbie people. And so I'm in my raft. I'm saying, okay, Alex, if you fall, if you get out, hold onto your paddle like it's your life, because it is. If you get your foot stuck, you can drown in 4 inches of water if you go straight in a rapid thing. So I'm like, okay, do that. If I yell high side, that means get on the other side, da-da-da-da-da. So I tell them all this stuff. I'm like, we're not going to need this, because of course we got a guy behind us, we got a guy ahead of us. This is low risk, right? We come down towards Skull Rapids, and all of a sudden I realize we are going in. So first, he's in the back, so he's steering, and he doesn't know that you got to give this a wide berth. I'm like, okay, dude, and the next thing I know, I'm underwater. One of the things I told him 2 things. I said, hold your paddle, and if you get underwater, just swim like hell, because you're going to get stuck in the hydraulics, and that's where you drown. I said, okay, so if you get stuck, you just go down, you swim like hell, and you don't care where it is. So we get down there, and I'm swimming like hell. I got my death grip on my paddle, and I'm trying to get out of those hydraulics, and I'm working. I'm just about to die. And finally, I pop out, and I'm like, oh, thank God. And I look around, no Alex. Everybody else has already passed us. The cleanup guy has already passed us, which is a big no-no in raft safety. That's not supposed to happen. So I look around, I'm like, holy crap. I'm like starting to really panic now because I was down there a long time, and then I see his paddle. I'm like, oh my God. And so we're sitting there, we're like, okay, what's going to happen? And then he comes out. He gets spit out. He has a dish rag. He cannot move. He's like so completely exhausted. This 170-pound boy that I spawned, and I'm trying really hard to kill. It's just like he's on the very last breath, and we're all screaming, oh, come on, Alex, come on, you can do it, make the raft. And we finally haul them all up there. So I say to him, scale 1 to 10, honey. You know, we do this all the time. 10 we go, 1 we stay. He says, I'm thinking about a 7, Mom. I'm like, all right, I think I'm about a 7 too. So we ended up putting in for the night, slept overnight, finished the next day. And then when we finally got back to the hotel, I Googled Skull Rapids death. And I found out, honest to God, a mother and her 16-year-old son had been in that exact same spot the week before us, and the child had died. And then I tried really hard not to kill him anymore. Thank you.
Sharon, everybody.